Bend over, Santiago.
I know it's a homeless guy.
Trade it in and I get rid of it. Even obviously I'm biggest fan of KTM. I would go and buy.
He'd realised he had lost something. Tell us what it is, Rob. What happened? Welcome to the Flinders Ranges Ride, Episode 2. Good morning, Flinders Ranges! G'day everyone, Artist Wayne here on this cracker day in the Flinders Ranges, South Australia. And as I made my way from our beautiful campsite where wife Jackie and I had our caravan all set up towards the shearers' quarters to see the boys, I couldn't help but wonder to myself whether Adrian the pin-up boy would be able to start his bike today. Day 2. Will Adrian's bike start? Yes! And we were off, the perfect way to start the day, with no dramas. And helping me catch all the action today was Adrian the pin-up boy, Santiago, Craig aka Strange, and Trent the Master Chief. 8 adventure riders left the Willow Springs sheep station that morning and headed towards Blinman. And our first stop along the way was Alpana Station, a working sheep station in the heart of the Flinders Ranges, perfectly situated for exploring the central Flinders Ranges region. And it was here that we were picking up the key to the famous Mount Samuel track. Plus, Trent, our Master Chief, had organised for one of the owners to take us to some secret locations. Oh, how exciting! Unfortunately, our excitement was short-lived, because when we arrived at the homestead, we were told that our guide was unavailable. There was nothing to do but grab the key, grab the map, and hit the road. Actually, not before Adrian held us up a little longer because he needed to inflate his front tyre with his toy tyre inflator. Then it was time to hit the road and ride through Blinman and into the beautiful Glass Gorge. This scenic gorge sweeps in a large arc from Blinman and enters the Parachilna Gorge Road 11 kilometres east of Parachilna. However, we didn't need to ride that far, because halfway into the Glass Gorge, we came to the locked gate that would welcome us onto the Mount Samuel track.
Thank you.
Time to strip off a few layers because we're about to get stuck into our morning's workout. Now we were getting all psyched up because this is where the fun really begins. Welcome to the Mount Samuel track. So here we were, 8 riders on what was a splendid day, finally hitting the Mount Samuel track in the Flinders Ranges, South Australia. And today we had been joined by Craig aka Strange on board his Gas ES 700 and helping us catch all the action. Now, just like Willow Springs Station, the folks here at Alpana prefer nothing over 1,000 cc's to be ridden on the Mount Samuel track. But our mate Zdeneck here is riding in a little 90 kdm. However, we told the lady back at the station she need not worry, because our mate Zdeneck the mechanic, well, he can ride. Unlike yours truly, I can't ride for shit. All I ever do is tighten my sphincter, close my eyes and hope for the best. And talking about tightening my sphincter, well, I had quite a few sphincter puckering moments today, and the first one was about to happen on this very part of the track. You see, the Flinders Ranges is extremely rocky, and my front wheel was about to collide with a big rock, almost throwing me from the bike. Of course, it wouldn't be the last sphincter puckering moment on this ride, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So yesterday we rode the famous Willow Springs Skytrack. Today we were hitting Alpana Station, Mount Samuel track. So you're probably wondering how they compare. Well, in my opinion, the Mount Samuel track was better. It was flowy, it was tight, a little more technical, and the views were spectacular. Now maybe it was because we had a clearer day, but it's just my opinion. And opinions are like arseholes, everyone's got one. But boy, did we have some fun here on this Mount Samuel track as we hill climbed our way to the most spectacular views. And as we climbed closer to the top, we pick up the action with Adrian the pin-up boy. Now, it just happened to be on this particular part of the hill climb that Adrian the pin-up boy would do exactly what I did yesterday when we were riding that big bastard of a hill on the Skytrack track at Willow Springs Station. And he had a go at me for it. Was this karma biting him back? Yes, he was about to come to a complete stop. Meanwhile, we were climbing higher. Once again, for the second day, we found ourselves on top of the world. There's definitely something special about riding at such heights, especially when you have breathtaking 360-degree views. And boy, were we going to cop an eyeful when we got to the top of this hill. Now the view up here, my fellow adventure riders, was absolutely breathtaking. And video can never do it justice. You really have to see it for yourselves. And whenever you hit the heights like this, you always have to go down. And the descents here are quite steep indeed. But if all else fails, you can just rely on good old gravity to get you to the bottom of the hill one way or another. Once we made our way off this big hill, we then levelled out and rode through the most beautiful dry creek bed, complete with a lot of rock steps for some good old-fashioned arm pump. And for someone who's had only 3 rides over the past year, well, I was feeling it. Once things began to open up, there were more sphincter puckering moments. At one point I almost left the track when following Craig as he hit a corner full of bull dust obscuring my vision. And it was around here that hardcore Mick almost had an off. And as for me, well, I hit a dry creek bed way too fast, almost sending my Insta360 camera through my helmet visor.
You're a bit wobbly through there.
I almost knocked myself out. I hit a rock and that goes fucking bang.
Hello?
Yo! The Mount Samuel track has it all. Beautiful eye candy, big hill climbs, rocky dry creek beds, flowy trails, tight trails, bull dust, and sandy creek beds. And it was here that we would stop for lunch. Not a bad spot, that's for sure. Then we were off like a cat shot up the arse, about to finish our Mount Samuel track. And when we finished the Mount Samuel track, we looped back onto the beautiful Glass Gorge and headed towards Blinman. Blinman is a tiny isolated settlement on the edge of the South Australian desert. This historic, rural and remote town is the highest town in South Australia, gaining its name from when copper was discovered by a shepherd named Robert Blinman in 1859. Famous for its underground mine tours and the North Blinman Hotel, a mecca for motorcycle riders and travellers alike. And once we handed our Mount Samuel track key back, we set off for a quick visit to the beautiful geological feature known as the Great Wall of China, due to its resemblance to the original. And on what was already a brilliant day of riding, well, there was more. We were now hitting some fun trails which would take us in the direction of Wilpena Pound. And this track was chock-a-block full of two animals which feature on the Australian coat of arms, kangaroos and emus. And it also may or may not have been on this particular part of the track that one of our riders may or may not have collided with a kangaroo. And the collision may or may not have broken the poor kangaroo's leg. And I may or may not have had to put the poor animal out of its misery. But these are some of the unfortunate things that us adventure riders may or may not have to do.
One of you boys hit a kangaroo?
No.
I think you did. I think you did.
Hit the kangaroo? Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah.
That poor thing.
You asked.
No, it's dead.
It made a big bang, but it was alright.
Is that why you stopped there?
I don't know. All I heard was a bang, and that's all I know. I don't know.
Mark went through.
Trent.
Another fantastic day in the Flinders Ranges as we continued ticking boxes and kicking goals. We were now heading to Bunnyroo Gorge and Razorback. Trails which would bring us out onto the road between Wilpena Pound and our accommodation at Willow Springs Station. And as the sun was going down and our shadows were growing longer, I couldn't help but think how wonderful life was when you ride a motorcycle, especially here in the beautiful Flinders Ranges. We were now making our way to Razorback Lookout in the Ikura Flinders Ranges National Park. The dirt track which had us weaving across the top of the ridgetop with the impressive Hazen Range as its backdrop is an iconic scene of the Flinders Ranges outback South Australia. The perfect way to finish another brilliant day of riding. Two fantastic days done and dusted, and 3 more to go. Well, weather permitting, of course. Today's ride couldn't get any better. No one was hurt, no one crashed, no bike breakdowns. Hell, even Adrian the Pin-Up Boy's bike started in the morning. It doesn't get any better than that. Tomorrow we were heading off for an overnight stay in the beautiful wildlife sanctuary, Arkaroola. And I, for one, could not wait. So hit the like and subscribe button because I'm Artist Wayne Dowsent, and thanks for watching everyone, especially you.